You begin far before the cathedral exists, before towers, before arches, before stone learned how to rise. They noticed how sound carried differently. You begin with shelter, with the simple human instinct, to gather, to pause, to look upward. Long ago, before names were written down, before plans were drawn, people stood together beneath open skies. They watched the sun move slowly overhead, between hills, or near cliffs, or inside caves. Certain places felt quieter, safer, more still, and those places were remembered. You walk now across ancient ground. The earth beneath you is uneven, pressed down by many footsteps, over countless seasons. Here, there is no cathedral yet, only space, only intention, the first sacred spaces. First, there is wood, simple posts set into the soil, a roof of thatch, walls that keep out the wind, but allow light to pass through. These early structures are not meant to impress. They are meant to hold voices, breath, silence. Inside them, sound softens, footsteps grow quieter. People speak differently here, lower, slower. You notice something important. Even in these early places, no one rushes. Time behaves differently. When people gather with purpose, stone comes later, not all at once. First, only foundations, rough blocks stacked carefully, heavy, unmoving. Stone remembers everything: rain, heat, cold, hands. When stone begins to rise above the ground, it does so cautiously. Walls are thick, openings are small, light enters slowly. These early stone churches feel protective, grounded. They are built to last, because the world outside feels uncertain. Roman influence. Space opens. Time moves forward gently. Empires expand. Roads stretch outward. And with them comes a new idea. Space. Roman builders understand arches. They understand balance. They understand how weight can move. Sideways, instead of downward. You step into an early basilica. The ceiling is high, higher than expected. Light enters through long windows, not dramatically, but steadily. Here, sound travels. A single voice can fill the space. Without effort, these buildings feel different, less like shelter, more like gathering. They are not reaching toward heaven yet. They are opening outward, inviting people inside. Stone columns stand patiently. They do not rush upward. They hold. They support. They wait. Time thickens. Years pass. Felt, not counted. Builders learn from what stands, and from what settles. Mistakes are not erased. They are absorbed. Walls grow thicker again. Arches become heavier. This is the age that will later be called Romanesque. Though no one here uses that word. Inside these churches, light is dimmer, the air is cool, footsteps echo softly. You feel the weight of the stone, not as pressure, but as reassurance. These places are built to endure winters, to endure silence, to endure time itself. The rhythm of work. Outside, the sound of tools repeats. Tap, tap, tap. Stone meets chisel. Slowly, carefully. Wooden scaffolding creaks gently. Ropes slide. Wheels turn. There is no urgency. No expectation of completion. Only continuation. A worker wipes dust from his hands. Another lifts a block. Another steps aside. The rhythm continues. You realize this is how cathedrals begin. Not as monuments, but as habits. Light returns. Over generations. Builders grow bolder. They experiment. They notice something subtle. If weight can move outward, walls do not need to be so thick. Openings can grow larger. Light can enter more freely. This idea changes everything. You stand now at the edge of something new. The first hints of Gothic design. Though no one calls it that yet, arches stretch higher, columns grow slimmer, stone seems to lose weight, light pours in, not harsh, not blinding, but abundant. People stop when they enter, not because they are told to, but because the space asks them to, a place that teaches stillness. Inside this rising cathedral, sound lingers, breath slows, thoughts soften. You notice how your own awareness shifts, as if the building itself is teaching you how to rest. Stone lifts the eye upward. Light draws attention gently. Silence holds everything together. And this is where the great cathedrals truly begin. They will take centuries to complete. They will outlast the hands that shape them. They will change as ideas change. Yet something essential will remain. The rhythm, the patience, the quiet intention to create a space where time itself slows down, and you are welcome to rest inside that rhythm now. You remain inside the rhythm. The cathedral is still becoming, and time continues. Without asking for attention, builders notice something subtle now, not all at once, not suddenly, but slowly, through years of watching and adjusting and waiting. Stone does not only need to hold weight, can guide it, redirect it, share it. An arch rises higher than before, its curve more pointed. The pressure shifts outward, down slender columns, into the ground. The pressure shifts outward. This discovery feels quiet, but it changes everything. Walls begin to thin, openings widen, light enters more freely, not as a single beam, but as a gentle presence. You step into one of these spaces, early Gothic, though the word has not yet been spoken. The ceiling feels far away, higher than expected. It does not press down. It lifts the gaze upward. Light spills through tall windows, soft, colored, filtered through glass, stained glass. Light that tells stories. First, the glass is simple, muted tones, earth colors, but gradually, it grows richer, more complex. Reds deepen, blues darken, golds glow softly. Sunlight passes through and changes, slows, settles. Inside the cathedral, the air fills with color, not painted onto walls, but floating, moving gently as the sun moves. People notice how their voices soften here. Sound travels, but does not echo sharply. It lingers, then fades. You stand still, watching light climb a column, then slide away. These windows are not decoration. Flying buttresses. Support from the outside. They are teaching tools, stories for those who cannot read, scenes from long ago, figures frozen in colored glass. But even without knowing the stories, the light itself is enough. Outside, something unusual appears, graceful, unexpected. Flying buttresses. They look delicate, but they carry immense weight. They allow the walls to open further, to breathe, to hold even more light. From a distance, the cathedral now looks different, less solid, more open, as if stone itself has learned to float. Builders walk slowly around it, observing, listening, stone arms reaching outward. If something settles, they adjust. If something cracks, they learn. Nothing is rushed, because nothing needs to be. A living construction site. Around the cathedral, the town grows, homes cluster nearby, markets gather. Life bends gently toward this rising structure. The cathedral is never separate from daily life. It is woven into it. Children play near the scaffolding. They grow used to the sound of chisels, to the smell of stone dust, to bells marking hours. They will grow older, and the cathedral will still be unfinished. Apprentices learn, masters age, roles change, but the work remains. Tap, tap, tap. The sound passes through years, unchanged. Time passes without drama. Decades slip by. Quietly, a new section rises. Another pauses. Funding slows, then resumes. There are interruptions. Wars, illness, cold winters. But the cathedral waits. Stone does not worry, simply rests, until hands return. The understanding that pauses are part of the process. Inside the Gothic space, step inside again. Your footsteps echo softly. The floor is worn smooth, polished by centuries of movement. Columns rise like clustered trees, branching upward, disappearing into shadow. The ceiling feels impossibly high, yet not distant. You gather sound, breath, thought. You feel the calm of this patience. You notice how people move more slowly here. They look upward without trying. They speak less. The space encourages stillness, not through instruction, but through presence. Night falls. As evening arrives, light changes again. The stained glass dims. Colors deepen, then fade. Candles appear. Small points of warm light, flickering, unsteady. Shadows stretch, then settle. The cathedral feels different at night. More enclosed, more intimate. The stone holds the day's warmth, releasing it slowly. Voices lower further. Footsteps soften. Outside, the town grows quiet. Inside, the space remains awake. Bells an hour. High above, bells wait. When they sound, they do not rush the listener. They mark time, not control it. The sound travels outward, across rooftops, fields, roads. It fades gradually, like a breath leaving the body. The long view. You begin to sense something now. Something beyond style, beyond era. Every generation builds differently, but each one listens to what already stands. They respond, rather than replace. The cathedral is never finished in one voice. It is a conversation, across centuries. Romanesque weight, Gothic lift, later additions, quiet repairs, all layered together. Your place in it. You stand quietly, not belonging to any one time. You are not expected to remember dates, or names, or sequences. You are only here to feel the pace, the slow accumulation, the patience, the trust that something meaningful can take centuries. Your breathing slows again, without instruction. The cathedral does not ask you to stay awake. It does not ask you to follow. It allows you to drift. You are still here, and the cathedral is still becoming. Even now, even after centuries, styles begin to change. Quietly, almost without announcement, the soaring height of the Gothic age no longer feels new, no longer feels daring. Builders look again. Proportion, balance, a calm symmetry. Stone does not forget what it has learned, but it learns to speak differently. Late Gothic, detail and density. The arches remain tall, but they grow more intricate. Lines multiply, patterns repeat within patterns. Stone lacework appears, delicate, patiently carved. You stand close to a wall now, and notice something subtle. The work here is slower, not because it is harder, but because it is finer. Each curve is considered, each line intentional. Hands move carefully, eyes narrow slightly, breath slows. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm is the same, but quieter. Light still enters, but it fractures more, filtered through complexity. Shadows deepen, then soften, a shift in thinking. Over time, another change begins. Builders look back, not upward, but inward. They study older ruins, Roman columns, measured proportions. They begin to value clarity, order, balance. This is not a rejection of what came before. It is a conversation with it. Renaissance influence. Stone learns calm. New sections appear, attached to older ones. Rounded arches return. Ceilings lower slightly. Spaces feel composed. Grounded. Light enters evenly. Without drama. You feel the difference immediately. The space does not pull the eye upward. It holds the gaze gently. Here, thoughts feel quieter, more settled. The cathedral is no longer trying to astonish. It is trying to endure, layers upon layers. You walk slowly along an interior wall. Here is stone from one century, next to stone from another. The difference is visible, but harmonious. No one has erased the past. They have simply added themselves to it. Cracks appear, then are repaired. Weather wears the carvings. Hands smooth them again. Nothing is frozen. Nothing is abandoned. The role of maintenance. Now, much of the work is quiet, uncelebrated. A loose stone is reset, a roof tile replaced. Water is guided away, so it does not settle. The cathedral is cared for, not finished. You sense the gentleness of this care. It is not ambitious. It is faithful. The sound of centuries. Listen closely now. The sounds are softer, more distant. Tap, tap. Even the chisel seems to whisper. Footsteps echo briefly, then fade. A door opens, then closes. Wind passes through, then moves on. These sounds have repeated themselves for hundreds of years. They do not carry urgency, only presence. The cathedral and time. Outside, the world changes more quickly now. Clothing, language, ideas. But the cathedral remains. It does not resist change. It absorbs it. New meanings are added. Old meanings soften. It becomes less about instruction, more about stillness. You inside the later years. You stand beneath a ceiling, shaped by many centuries. You do not need to identify the style. You only feel the accumulation, the sense that many hands have agreed on something quietly important, that some places are worth maintaining. Even when they are no longer new, your breathing deepens again. The space feels forgiving. You do not need to be alert. You do not need to analyze. The cathedral has already done that work. Dusk returns. Light shifts again. It always does. Colors soften. Edges blur. The day moves toward rest. Candles appear once more. Small, warm. The stone reflects their glow gently. The cathedral feels closer now. More enclosed. Sound feels thicker, slower. The long continuation. Centuries will continue to pass. Some parts will be damaged, others restored. There will be times of neglect and times of care. The cathedral will endure all of it, not because it is perfect, but because it is patient. You feel that patience now, settling into you, the pace of stone, the pace of breath, the pace of night. You are allowed to match it. Long pause. Time keeps moving, but it no longer pushes. It flows gently around the cathedral, like water around stone. The age of constant building fades, slowly, almost unnoticed. No more great expansions, no new towers reaching higher. Instead, care begins to take the place of ambition. From creation to preservation. Hands still come each morning, but now they carry different tools. Brushes, small hammers, careful instruments. Dust is lifted, not scattered. Cracks are studied, not rushed. Stone is cleaned, gently, patiently. Nothing here is meant to look new, only whole. You walk along a wall, and notice small marks, dates carved lightly, symbols, traces of earlier repairs. They are not hidden. They are allowed to remain. The cathedral is no longer a promise. It is a presence. The world moves faster outside. Beyond the walls, life begins to speed up. Roads widen. Voices multiply. Time starts to feel crowded. But inside the cathedral, the pace holds. Sound softens as soon as you enter. Footsteps instinctively slow. Breath deepens. You do not need to be told to be quiet. The space asks gently, and you respond. Visitors instead of builders. People arrive now, from far places. They carry curiosity, wonder, quiet respect. They do not stay long, but they leave changed, even if they cannot say how. You watch them pause, look upward, then grow still. No one speaks loudly. The cathedral teaches that lesson silently. Light remains. Light still moves, as it always has. Morning light, afternoon light, evening light. It enters through glass shaped long ago. The colors are softer now, faded gently by time, but they still glow. When the sun reaches them just right, you stand and watch as a patch of color slides slowly across the floor. It moves, pauses, moves again. No one hurries it. Weather continues. Rain still comes, touches the stone, darkens it briefly, then leaves. Wind still moves through the arches, carrying echoes, carrying memory. Winter still quiets everything. Snow still softens sound. Spring still returns. The cathedral receives it all. The sound of quiet maintenance. Listen now. The sounds are minimal. A brush against stone. A careful step. A ladder placed gently. Tools set down softly. No sharp strikes. No urgency. The work here is listening, responding, waiting. You and the stillness. You find a place to sit. The stone bench is cool, smooth. It holds your weight easily. You do not need to shift. Your body settles. Your breathing slows further. The space around you feels wide, yet close. Thoughts arrive less often now, and when they do, they dissolve easily. The cathedral as memory. This place remembers. It remembers hands, voices, silence. It remembers days of celebration and days of grief. It holds all of it, without distinction. You feel safe inside that holding. Nothing you bring here is too heavy. Nothing needs to be resolved. Time without direction. Minutes lose their edges. Hours soften. You are no longer sure how long you have been here, and it does not matter. The cathedral is not measuring. Neither are you. Night arrives again. Evening settles. Lights appear. Small, warm. They do not chase the darkness away. They rest within it. Shadows deepen. The ceiling disappears into dimness. Sound becomes thicker, slower. You feel the night gathering, not as an ending, but as a deepening. The role of rest. Now, the cathedral rests more than it speaks. It does not instruct, simply remains. You remain with it, breathing, still. The pace is steady. Stone, breath, silence. They align. You are still here. But the sense of being somewhere has begun to fade. The cathedral remains, yet it no longer feels separate from you. Stone, breath, they begin to feel like parts of the same slow rhythm. Less to notice. There is less to describe now. Not because nothing exists, but because nothing needs to be named. The arches are still above you. The floor still beneath. But your attention does not move toward them. It rests. Light still enters, but you no longer follow it. Sound still arrives, but you do not track its source. Everything is present, and everything is allowed to remain in the background. The comfort of repetition. The cathedral has always known this phase. It has passed through centuries of activity and centuries of quiet. It understands that repetition does not become boring. It becomes comforting. Tap, tap. Even the sound is faint now. More memory than noise. Like a heartbeat heard through walls. You settle deeper. Your body feels heavier, not weighed down, but supported. Muscles release. Without instruction, your breathing finds its own pace. The pause between breaths grows longer, and nothing fills it. Space without expectation. This space no longer expects attention. It does not reward focus. It does not punish drifting. It welcomes both. You may notice that you are no longer listening for the next sentence. The sound of the voice is simply another texture, another layer of calm. Time dissolves. Time no longer moves forward, spreads. Moments overlap. Past and present soften together. The cathedral is old and new, and neither simply is. Stillness becomes familiar. Silence is no longer noticeable. It is familiar, like darkness behind closed eyes. Safe, wide, unquestioned. The cathedral breathes with you. The stone holds temperature. Releasing it slowly, the air remains steady. Nothing shifts suddenly. Your breathing and the space begin to feel synchronized. Thoughts pass through. A thought may appear, brief, unfinished, and then leave. There is no need to follow it, no need to push it away. It moves on its own. Less words now. Words are becoming unnecessary. The story has already done its work. It has carried you here. Now, can loosen its grip. You may hear long pauses. They are intentional. They are part of the rest. A gentle undoing. The cathedral does not ask for belief or understanding. It offers only presence. And presence is enough. You feel that now, not as an idea, but as a condition. Night holds everything. Night deepens. The boundaries of the space soften further. Ceiling, walls, arches, they recede. What remains is the sense of being held. You do not need to stay aware. You do not need to track the story. You do not need to stay with the voice. You do not need to stay awake. The cathedral will remain, whether you listen or not, and that knowledge feels comforting. Rest becomes easy. Your body remembers how to rest. Your mind remembers how to drift. Nothing is required. Nothing is expected. The story thins. Sentences arrive more slowly now. Spaces between them widen. Silence stretches. Not empty, just calm. You are safe to let go. You are supported. You are settled. You are allowed to sleep. The cathedral does not need your attention anymore. It will keep standing, quiet, patient, long after this moment fades. You may notice that the words arrive less often now. That is intentional. There is nothing more you need to picture, nothing more you need to understand. The cathedral is still there, even as your awareness drifts away from it. Stone does not need to be imagined to continue standing. Neither do you need to remain aware to be held. A breath arrives and leaves. Another breath. Slower, the pause between breaths lengthens gently. Nothing fills it. Nothing needs to. The space around you feels wide, but safe, like night stretching quietly. In every direction, sound has thinned now. It is no longer something you listen to. It is simply present, like air, like darkness behind closed eyes. If a thought appears, can pass, You do not need to follow it. You do not need to finish it. The cathedral has passed through centuries of silence. It is comfortable there. And now, so are you. A long pause, another breath. The rhythm remains. Nothing else matters. The stone holds. The night holds. You are held. Patient. Awareness softens. Edges dissolve. The sense of being here loosens. There is no transition. You need to notice. Sleep does not need permission. It arrives when it is ready. And the story does not follow. Stays behind. Quiet. Still. Just like the cathedral.